Okay guys, good evening and welcome to Friday night's Eldar Sim Racing. This is the Porcshe Caymans, the Decals Lab Decals Lab Porcshe Caymans, live and exclusive from the home of the Austrian Grand Prix. I'm going to say Australian then, but we're not in Australia. At the Red Bull Ring on the beautiful GP circuit. I'm your host for this evening as per usual on a Friday night, Hoppers, and welcome to the show guys. I hope you like what you see here guys. I'm going to just read two comments that have come up onto the YouTube video while I just bear with me while I turn it down. I've got my stream running in the background, which yes, so I do apologise, I was just turning the stream down on my phone. So Hatsalat, aka Ryan, very evening to you my friend. Good luck in British Touring Cars, he says good luck all. And Chris Richardson, unfortunately Chris has got family commitments this evening, so he's not going to be able to make it as Max Robertson spins out of turn number 1. He says, good luck guys, gutted you can't make the race. Yeah, I'm gutted as well mate, to be fair, I'm gutted you can't make it. I'll go through the points, and as per usual we'll go through who's here and who isn't. If you're watching the stream guys, the penalty line for this evening is between you're right bud. Oh good man, Hopper's my mate, thank you, like that. Yeah, so if you're watching the stream guys and you are racing in the Caymans this evening, please be aware that between corners 1 and 2 you will have to take your penalty. There's no point taking it on start finish line this evening. It is changed to between corners 1 and 2 as Jerry Smiles, aka Jerry Dobbin, is just approaching now. The penalty line actually in the FIA and the Manufacturer Series that happen on GT Sport are between these corners, so you will have to take it before you reach the entry point to turn number 2. So the entry point as of this turn now, otherwise it will, I think it's between these two turns. If you don't take it, it will hamper your lap as James Stevens just entered the room. So I will go through the points, and yes, okay, James Stevens first to break fancies me. Well, that's a bit weird mate, but you know, I'm not bothered about that. But yeah, if you're gonna But yeah, if you're new around here guys, we do have the 10-minute qualifying session. These guys are just doing practice at the moment. Gonna go mate, I'll watch the stream later, have fun mate, and good luck Porcshe drivers. No worries mate, good luck in BTCC. Hope you enjoy it mate, should be a good laugh. I'll watch the stream of that later myself, so all the best Ryan, and I'll speak to you soon mate. So yeah, as I was saying, we've got the 10-minute qualifying session coming up. Around 10 to 8 UK time, and also 3 9-lap races this evening. The format for the races this evening will be a first race will be obviously determining on the grid of qualifying within the 10-minute qualifying session, and of course we will have then a couple of minutes break for between race 1 and 2. And then race 2 will be the full grid reversal of results of race 1, and then we will have yes, it'll be a full reverse grid. So say for example at the moment Jerry Smiles is in first place. If he wins race 1 he will be at the back for race 2, and then it will be a rolling start, and then grid for race 3 will be the grid result, the race result of race 2, and it will be literally the finishing positions as of race 2. So if Jerry wins race 2 he will start on pole position for race 3, and it will be another 9-lap encounter, but this time it will be another standing start. Race 1 and 3 are standing starts, and race 2 is a rolling start but a full grid reversal. So hopefully this evening it should be spectacular, hopefully it should be amazing. And yes, next week will be the it won't be the final round, but it will be the last round before the Christmas break. We will be heading stateside for the annual trip to Laguna Seca. Well, it's not an annual trip to Laguna Seca, but some of these guys are going to be on familiar turf, and probably potentially as there's a yellow flag going in. I think there's a yellow flag going into turn number 1. I don't know why there's a yellow flag showing. I think it's because Dan Bailey's in pit lane at the moment, but like I say, we'll go through who's here and we'll go through the points any moment or so. But yeah, so we'll be heading stateside for it will be potentially with 9 races to go as of next week, so we will have 3 action-packed races at WeatherTech Raceway at Laguna Seca. Some of the guys may find it easy. Will be a good race. My money is on James. To be fair, Chris, even though I'm a bit disappointed you're not racing this evening, mate, I'm going to say my money's going to be on potentially James, or if Gareth does come into the lobby and Gareth puts a huge amount of pressure on James. You know, Gareth and James from day one, even though from Monza when James lost a win due to not taking his penalty correctly, you know, he gets a fuss about it, but from day one he's had consistent results. And I tell you what, if we get the likes of Craig Thomas, aka the real Osman, if he comes in to the frame again, you know, like as I'll go through the points in a moment and I'll tell you how close it is between these guys. But you know, to have Craig up there as well, you know, Craig's been a threat. He's the only guy to date that stopped the rot of James and of course Gareth, but we shall see. But I'm really looking forward to seeing what we can do here in Austria. As I say, with next week being at Laguna, there will be 9 races to go, and the championship could be easily sewn up at Laguna. It could easily be sewn up after Christmas break at Interlagos, or we could go down. Speaking of Craig, he's just entered the lobby, you know, it could go down to Dragon Trail Gardens, which is a fictional track here on GT Sport, but going to Croatia. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing what will happen at obviously Dragon Trail on the garden circuits, and you know, who knows, but we'll just get on with the point and we'll go through who's here as well at the same time. So excuse me for burping, I just had a bit of Dr Pepper, so it's not going to be working well. It might go against me. But in first place in the Decals Lab Porcshe Caymans, we are at round number 5 altogether out of 8, I believe. So I believe, yeah, so it's round number 5 out of 8, so there'll be 3 rounds left. James Stephen is on 226 points. James Stephen is here somewhere. He was here. I don't know if he's spectating or not entered the lobby yet, but you'll see. He's on 226. Then you've got his arch rival Gareth Morris on 206. He's 20 points behind James at the moment. Then you've got Craig Thomas, aka the real Osman, on 169, so he's 57 points behind. Then you have Jerry Dobbin. Jerry is here. Jerry is on 118. He's 108 behind James, so it's going to be a bit of a big ask for the Northern Irishman, the reigning champion of the TCC, but it is known to us as, you know, mini sevens champion as of last season. So Jerry is in 4th place. In 5th place in the standings at the moment is Dan Bailey. Dan had a good showing at Brands Hatch last time out. He was challenging in his, I think some of the guys are saying, but you know, he's getting closer and closer to Gareth and of course James, but he's on 107 points. Then you've got Jay Baxter. If Jay Baxter does enter the lobby, he's on 105. Between him and of course Ismail Nameri, they're both tied on points for 6th place. They're both on 105 points, so they're both 121 points behind James, so anything can happen. Then you've got Alexandru, the Romanian, just going through turn number 1 at the moment. He is on 91 points, and then you've got Love Mecca, aka the Love Frequency, the American. So we're going to Love Mecca's home turf next week at Laguna. He's on 91. I believe Alexandru and of course Love Mecca are equalled on points for 8th place. That shows how close it is. Mark Palmer, Mark is here this evening. He had a bit of issues last week. I'm not going to mention it on stream because it's not fair on him, but he's on 80 points, so he was high up in the table, but until the issues last week cost him from competing at Brands Hatch, so it's dropped him down to 10th, so it's written off his chances of a good season. But you never know, if he gets some good results here this evening, we'll see what happens. Then we've got Ben Smith. Ben's hoping his internet holds up this evening. He is on 76. I did say Mark Palmer is on 80. Just to go back, Mark McCabe, aka Marky Mark. If Marky Mark is racing this evening, he's on 64. Then you have Max Robertson, who's here. I don't know why he's got his hazards on at the moment. Don't know whether he's got issues or not, but he's got his hazards on at the moment. He is on 55 points. Then you got Chris Craigie, aka Stealth Racer, as I know him. He's on 38, and unfortunately Chris Richardson, that is missing this evening, he's on 13. And then you've got Darren Gardiner, aka Darren Baldwin's son. Unfortunately, Darren Baldwin's son, Darren Gardiner, he was in the Clios, but he's pulled out due to work commitments. So, and he's on 3 points at the moment, but he's no longer going to be returned. I'm just going to check the stream comments as well, guys, so please bear with me. But I believe, I'm trying to figure out who this is. Thinga Majiga Racing Channel. Big up to the ESR. I'm on commentary duties myself this eve, but I will try and catch this later. Thank you. Hope whatever you're commentating on this evening goes very well. We shall see. So thank you for your kind comment. So hopefully I'll just go for, you know, it should be spectacular. So we've got 9 laps races this evening, and we've got also the rolling start and reverse grid for race 2. And yeah, it's potentially going to be exciting. I've never been so excited for a race, or potentially ever been excited for certain things. Hopefully the title goes down to the wire at Dragon Trail on the Garden Circuit, but I believe it may be sewn up within Laguna Seca or Interlagos. Interlagos will come on the 8th of January, so after the Christmas break we will be, as Love Frequency has just entered the room. So we are looking forward to see what happens here this evening, guys, and we shall have hopefully a good night of racing. There's the other ass throwing chocolate at me. I thought she was chucking something at me to tell me to be quiet. But yeah, it's going to be potentially a good night of racing. So it should be spectacular. It should be fantastic to see what goes on here. I am personally going to be, hopefully the guys do put on a good show for us and potentially enjoy themselves. So I'm just going to check that certain people are jumping into the lobby. James Stephen is actually out on track. I can't see him anywhere at the moment, but it might be just me. Here he is, speaking of the devil. He's just gone out of pit lane, so yes. So excuse me, I will try and get a track map up, and I'll try and remember the turn names as best as I can, and please bear with if my pronunciation of track corner names aren't 100%. But yes, it should be fantastic. I believe we have got 12 races this evening, or we may have 11, I don't know, I can't remember roughly, but it should be exciting. Hopefully Gareth makes it into the lobby as well to put an end to James Stephens' winning streak, but you know, I want someone to try and put pressure on Moz, and of course, James, and of course Gareth. But we shall see. As I say, speaking of Moz, he's just joined, so we shall see what happens. Yeah, so if you like what you see here, guys, we've got the Shell Norman Motorsport British Touring Cars, hosted by the host with the most, Malcolm Argyle. Malcolm is in the comms box for the British Touring Cars, and also you've got the Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs. That's right, Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs. We are sponsoring the Clio Cup that Darren Baldwin, aka ASR Idol, is commentating on. He will be within, as of next week, we did say on Wednesday that the Ferrari Trofeos, the 458 Trofeos that were at Monza, he will be jumping into the commentary box with me, and we'll be doing a duo commentary as of Wednesday. And then you'll have me, the host with I don't know how to describe myself, the host with the most knowledge of potentially trying to be the best commentator I am for Eldar Sim. I'm not saying Malcolm or Darren are experts, because they are experts in their ways and every shape or form, but mainly for me, I've been commentating for some time now, and I'm fully enjoying it. It makes a difference than being on the grid racing against these guys, especially guys like James Stephens. You know, he's out of this world with the lap times he sets, and also the way he races as well, so makes a bit of difference commentating on guys like him. So yeah, I like to say that I do a good job. The guys, as he sets the fastest lap in the practice session at the moment, as Marky Mark joins the room. So if you're watching the stream, guys, welcome. Sit back, have a drink, have a smoke if you smoke, and also enjoy these top class racing. I was going to check everything's in order just while we're here, so yes, everything is correct. See how clever am I? But yeah, if you like what you see here, guys, do obviously check out the Shell Norman Motorsport British Touring Cars, hosted by none other than the legend and the host with the most, that is Malcolm Argyle. And also, as Ginger Baxter's entered the room, so that's good. We are potentially getting close to, I think it is technically 13 drivers, so with Chris Richardson not racing, unfortunately, we were going to due to have 14. I think it's 14, but we'll see what goes on. Or is it, or are we still? So yeah, so it is actually potentially near enough for full grid. So it looks like we have got 14 Porsche Caymans this evening, so that's going to be fantastic. So as I was saying, you've got the Shell Norman British Touring Cars within, hosted by the legendary and the host with the most, Malcolm Argyle. He does a fantastic job. I highly recommend, if you want any commentary tips, contact Malcolm, because Malcolm's an absolute legend at doing commentary. You know, I had to do some testing and some commentary for Malcolm to watch and potentially review, and you know, straight away here I am commentating for another season. We are got the Porsche Caymans as of next season as well, so we've got these beautiful beasts racing. I'm not going to go into details where we're racing yet, because it's not been finalised yet. Also, hopefully in the next couple of weeks on a Tuesday night we will have a new series coming, and I will be racing that myself, and I'll be having ESR Idol, okay, Darren Baldwin, in the commentary box for that. If you like what you see with the decals like Porsche Caymans as well as the Shell Norman Motorsport British Touring Cars, be sure to check out, I believe it's on ESR Idol's YouTube, so you might have to type in ESR Idol 4 on YouTube to watch the Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs Clio Cup, we proudly sponsor them. We've struck a deal for the Eldar Sim Racing Group, which is obviously what we are, what the guys are doing. We've struck a deal to sponsor the Clio Cup for Tier 3 of the Friday Night League, and yeah, there's some great guys in there. I believe there's a guy called Panos who's a Greek. I can't remember his last name, but I believe he's doing extremely well. I believe Will Sutters, who runs the Ferrari League, is doing well in the BTCC, and we shall see what happens this evening. It's going to be fantastic to see what goes on, and we'll just check that everyone is here. Yeah, so it is actually 14 Porsche Caymans. So we're actually, even though Chris Richardson is missing, we're actually nearly at full capacity, so we're nearly at a full grid. So since Monza we have been near enough, Monza was essentially near enough a full grid, and well, it was a full grid, and then it sort of, most of the times, I don't know who's disappeared there. I believe that was Stealth Racer. But yes, we are going to potentially go through certain things in certain ways. We shall go into hopefully qualifying in around, so it's just gone 7:30, so it's going to be around 20 maybe 20 minutes time. So I'm going to go and grab a drink, and I will catch up with you guys in a little while, and we'll see who's going to stop the wrath of James Stephen here at the Red Bull Ring. It's going to be, as I say, it's going to be fantastic, and it's going to be probably going to be one of the best. I believe round number 5 of the British touring cars, they are at Blue Moon Raceway. I don't know which layout Blue Moon Raceway they're on, but they are racing at Blue Moon as potentially the Clio Cup, the Hoppers Motorsport. James Stephen makes a rare mistake going out of Niki Lauda there. Turn named after the Austrian F1 great who sadly passed away, and you know, James makes a rare mistake there. But yes, as Max Robertson's left the room, so that's not looking good so far. I may have to see what's going on at the moment within these guys. But yeah, so as I was saying, you've got the Clio Cup on the short circuit of the Red Bull Ring. So it may look like we're racing on the GP circuit and the Clios are on the short circuit. But I'm going to go and grab a drink and get some water, so my voice doesn't automatically go, you know what I mean. And hopefully it should be a good night of racing, and I'll leave you guys to enjoy the beautiful sounds of these beautiful Porsche Caymans around this fantastic Red Bull Ring. So I will see you in around about, say, about 3 minutes time. Okay guys, sorry about that. Just had to get my water, and because you know how commentary can get. It gets very exciting and it gets pretty much amazing. So we shall see what happens. But yeah, you're gonna. Hopefully, it should be fantastic, and it should be a bit of an evening for these guys. Let's bear with. So yeah, it should be exciting. It should be one of the best, and we shall have so we'll see what happens within the Eldar Sim Racing Porsche Caymans. Let's go through the list. Gareth is actually now set the fastest time on the practice session so far with a 1:36.520. So it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be absolutely amazing. We shall see what happens here. So we've got Gareth, then you've got James, then you've got Joey Smiles, aka Joey Dobbin, and then you've got Dan Bailey, then you've got Mark Palmer, Ben Smith. So far so good, mate. Let's hope you stay in the lobby. And then you got Ginger Baxter, and then you got aka Jay Baxter, then you got Marky Mark, aka Mark McCabe, who's just jumped back into pit lane. And then you've got Love Frequency, aka Love Mecca, and then you've got Alexandru the Romanian, and then you've got Max Robertson, then you've got Stealth Racer, and then you've got Game Race, and Marky Mark, and then Craig, obviously Craig as well. So if you like what you're seeing here, I believe so yeah, there is potentially, I believe, yeah, Darren Baldwin's. I'm just going to have a look at what they've got. So it's on ESR Idol 4's YouTube channel. If you want to check the beautiful Clio Cup, we do have at least 10 minutes before qualifying starts. So if you like what you see here, guys, go and check out the Clio Cup on ESR Idol 4's YouTube channel, and also the Sheldon Lorman Motorsport. Yeah, so you've got the Sheldon Lorman Motorsport British Touring Cars as well at the same time on the Eldar Sim YouTube channel. So you've got ESR Idol 4's YouTube channel doing the Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs Clio Cup, and you've got us Hoppers doing the Porsche Caymans, the Decals Lab Porsche Caymans, and of course the Sheldon Lorman Bat Motorsport British Touring Cars with the host with the most, Malcolm Margot, doing the comms for the British Touring Cars. So you will have the delight of 3 Eldar Sim Racing Leagues championships this evening. So we've got at least 10 minutes to qualify, and we will shall see what goes on here this evening at the Red Bull Ring. As I say, as of next week it will be 9 races to go, and we shall be so there'll be 9 races to go as of next week, and we shall see what happens. So there's a yellow flag somewhere along here. James Stephen causing a yellow flag, how funny. not. But yeah, not that James causes yellow flags on purpose, but you know, I just thought I'd throw that in there. But yeah, James has topped the times now with a 1:36.133. So. So we shall see what happens for the Decals Lab Porsche Caymans. We'll go through hopefully soon. We've got 9 minutes till qualifying starts, and hopefully everyone makes it out of pit lane safe and sound. As I'm going to say this now, this series, or if you like what you see here, check out Eldar Sim on Facebook, Eldar Sim Racing on Facebook, and also do check what the other championships that do go on within this amazing league set up by Nick Sargent, aka the Hammer Games. As there's another yellow flag, I believe that was Max Robertson just gone off. James Stephen, it glitched then, it said it wasn't in the, he looked like he wasn't in the car, but yes, I believe he's going to change. I believe James admitted to me, or admitted to everyone during the chat during the week, Brand Hatch, he still had intermediate tyres on from when they were racing, I believe when they were racing at Spa. But I think James thought it was going to be wet at Brands for some bizarre reason. He hasn't got much tyre wear, but he'll get a fresh pair of shoes on at the moment, but we shall see with what's going on. I'm just going to look at this beautiful Porsche Cayman. It looks very fantastically and spectacular. So, as I was saying, yeah, Eldar Sim was set up by Nick Sargent, aka the Hammer Games. And if you like what you see within the Hammer Games, not the Hammer Games, Eldar Sim Racing, sorry Nick, too busy giving you a massive shout out here, bud. But yeah, if you like, so if you like what you see within the Eldar Sim Racing, be sure to check out us on Facebook, and please do, if you're interested, register your interest for potentially the championships like this, the Clio Cup, the British Touring Cars, and also any other championships that Eldar Sim will be producing. Hopefully, as I say, Tuesdays will be I believe we signed a deal with Porcshe to bring in the 2A GTI Cup, which the host with who's enjoying commentary the most, Hoppers, which is me. I will be back in the driving seat, and I will have my good friend, aka Darren Baldwin, aka ESR Idol 4, doing the commentary for that. He's stepping back from his racing due to personal reasons. I'm not going to mention his personal reasons why he's doing into the commentary, but it will be nice to see potentially Darren do the commentary. He's actually doing commentary for the Clios as we speak, and I believe Christian Swire is also helping him out on the mic, so aka the Scrap Drifter. So we shall see what they do. And speaking of Christian Swire, I believe as of a Monday, I don't know when it will be, but I believe Christian is going to be hosting and Darren's going to be doing commentary for the new GR2 league that shall be starting potentially, I think it's after Christmas. There's another flag going out into the Skydrive's get going again. But yeah, so there's 5 minutes until qualifying, and we shall see what happens. Oh, the keyboard starts playing games. Excuse me. So I'm just going to put 5 minutes to qualifying and just tell them exactly what he's going. On. So we shall see. Yeah, so as I say, you'll get to see obviously Darren in the comms box quite a few times. He's joining me for the Ferraris at Tokyo as of Wednesday, so there'll be two commentators. which will be great to see on stream and here as well. So we'll see what goes on this evening, and we'll pull up a track map and potentially see what happens. I believe at the moment, yeah, James Stevens back out on track, so that's good. The Blue Machine, King James, or Dangerman James as I call him. James is a spectacular racer. He raced a one-off in the Ferraris midweek, so it will be fantastic to see what goes on. And Moz has got a bit of a penalty. He's actually taken it a bit too late going into turn number 2, so I'll get the track map and we will go through potentially what is going on within. So let's see what goes on for the Eldar. I don't want it in Google Maps for one sake. Right, so coming up where James is now, he's going in through Worth Curve, I believe. Yeah, that's Worth Curve. And then he's going to go down into, he's flying down now into Rint. And then Red Bull Mobile is the last corner. And then flying up to, I believe, then going to fly through Red Bull Mobile now and up to Nicky Lauda Curve. And then he goes through Remus, then he goes through Schloss Gold. Oh god, that's a bit that's a bit of an Austrian name, isn't it? And then we go through Rauch and then Worth Curve, and then of course Rint and Red Bull Mobile. So that is going to be potentially, as we've got 2 minutes towards before qualifying does start. My Austrian isn't really the best, but he's going through Remus now and then down to Schloss Gold. And Rauch, and then obviously Worth Curve, and then obviously Rint, and of course Red Bull Mobile. So we have got potentially so we've got a minute to go until qualifying, and we'll see what goes on this evening. Hopefully it should be spectacular. Excuse me, burping away, do apologise. Oh, I need to catch the stream up. As we got Game Race just typing quickly, potentially. So we shall see what goes on. Hopefully qualifying will start in a moment or two. Jimmy Smiles, well done. And why, what's he done? So yeah, we're going to start qualifying whether you're ready or not, guys. Because if you're not ready, guys, we are going. So we shall see what happens. It is now going to be 10 minutes of qualifying, and we shall see what happens for the Decals Lab, Porcshe Caymans. Qualifying is going to be 10 minutes, as we're going to see. I don't know what's happened to the camera angle, but we're going to see if everyone gets out of pit lane. It's a bit of a funny angle. So I believe everyone is going out towards pit lane. Excuse me. and we shall see what goes on here for the 10-minute qualifying session here at the Red Bull Ring, home of the Austrian Grand Prix. And it used to be known as the A1 Ring back in the day, and then it used to be known as Osterreich back in the older days. So yeah, as the field funnel the way through, it probably will be ideal potentially to get a toe off some of the guys from behind. And you know, Jerry Smiles, okay, Jerry Dobbin goes into Schloss, well, going in Schloss, he's gone out of Schloss Gold. He's now going out through Worth corner, and then obviously into, I'll try and remember some of the turns if I can, but they're actually out on their out laps at the moment, so it's going to be spectacular. It's going to be probably one of them. It is going to be potentially quite an amazing evening for these guys, as Jerry just fires it into Red Bull Mobile and going up towards Nicky Lauda now. So yes, it is going to be spectacular. We shall see what these guys do. So if you're watching the stream, guys, just remember your penalties are between turns 1 and 2 before you hit the penalty line up there. So there actually, it was 7 minutes 54 on the clock, and we're just going to check everyone is here and potentially going to cross the line. That's Ben Smith. Picks up the rear at the moment, but he'll be okay because he's on his outlap, so we'll see what happens. Ben's internet so far is holding up, so that should be a good sign for him. We'll try and see as the times come in thick and fast, and we'll see what happens as Jerry goes through into Schloss Curve now, or Schloss Gold should I say, but it's kind of a weird pronunciation, but we'll see what happens. We'll see who can stop the rot of James Stephen potentially taking pole position, and you know, it will be exciting as we shall see what goes on. It's a beautiful day in Austria, I must admit. It's nice and sunny, so with just under 7 minutes remaining, so they'll probably get 3 or 4 laps depending on if they press the loud pedal long enough to fly, as Jerry comes down into the final 2 turns now to cross the line to set the benchmark for the first time. Let's see what he is about to do here as he crosses the line. Now he's done a 37.3, Mark Palmer did a 38.2, James Stevens 37.8, Moz did a 36.9, Game Race did a 37.7, Real Osman did a 36.9, Rough Frequency did a 140.059, Stealth Racer did a 145.51, Marky Mark did a 138.1, so we'll see what happens. Max Robinson did a 139.8, Ben Smith did 138.2. So at the moment, Gareth Morris with the fastest lap of the session, 136.937. He will be starting in pole position with 5 minutes 50 on the clock as Jerry Smiles, aka Jerry Dobbin, fires it into Schloss Gold. I'm going to have to try and pronounce that properly, but we'll see what happens. You know, it is going to be fantastic as we'll try and go through the field and believe. Yeah, so Moz at the moment is chasing down James Stephen for a bit of time. Craig is in second place with 136.9. So at the moment, the 2 Welsh lads from Bridgend in South Wales, yes, that is right, South Wales lads are 1-2 on the grid at the moment. Jerry Smiles, the Northern Irishman, even though he's got an Irish flag on his car, he's leading the way again. And Dan Bailey on the road is essentially 12th fastest at the moment with 5 minutes to go in the qualifying session. I believe Dan Bailey's done a 137.7, James Stevens done a 137.0, Moz did a 136.8 this time, and it's still the fastest lap as Game Race has done 137.2, the Frequency has done a 138.6, Stealth Racer did a 140.1, Code did a 139.430, as you can see, James Stephen at the moment. James Stephen is third fastest at the moment with 4 minutes 22. Ginger Baxter did a 1:38.5. So James is third fastest at the moment. So he's got his title nemesis at the moment, Gareth Morris, on pole position at the moment. But James is going to have to push on. He's seriously going to have to think, what's he going to do? He's under threat from Mark Palmer in the qualifying session, but with 4 minutes remaining, they may get a couple more laps under their belt, so we'll see what happens. So far it's Moz from Craig, then it's James, then it's Ismail, and then Jerry Smiles, and then obviously Dan Bailey. Marky Mark in 7th, Mark Palmer is actually in 8th, and then you've got Ben Smith in 9th, then you've got Ginger Baxter, aka Jay Baxter, in 10th, then you've got Love Frequency in 11th, then you've got Alex Andrew in 12th, then you've got Max Robertson in 13th, and then Stealth Racer in 14th at the moment. But we'll see what Gareth can do. He's in pole position at the moment, but we'll see what he does when he crosses the line. Jerry's not improved his time. Dan Bailey's done 1:37.0, and James Stephen got pole position for a moment with 1:36.774. And then Mark Bomb did 1:37.912, and then Moz did a 1:36.390, and then Love Frequency did a 1:38.311. Stealth Racer did 1:39.515, and then Godro did 1:39.145. So, you know, where does that put as Ginger Box did 1:38.3, Ben Smith did 1:38.142. So that puts Max Robertson towards the back of the field with coming up to 2.5 minutes remaining of this qualifying session. So at the moment James Stephen is split into 2 Welsh lads, but James Stephen has a penalty in qualifying. This could be disaster. James has picked it up halfway round Slosh Gold, I believe, or he's just picked it up just after the I believe that was I think it was after Remus, but I'm not too sure. But he'll have to take the penalty next time round. He doesn't have to take it on start finish line, he has to take it between turns 1 and 2. That will hamper him. This could hamper him though, because at the moment it could push Craig back up into 2nd place. But James is jumping into pits. I don't know why he's jumping into the pits. I think he's trying to jump so he gets rid of it, but it's not going to get rid of it because it will go against him. But Mark Palmer's done a 1:37.454 at the moment, so I don't know why the guys are jumping into pit lane at the moment, but I believe it could be Dan Bailey at the moment is sat in pit lane with 1 minute and 17 seconds to go. So at the moment you have got the running order will be Gareth Morris on pole position, followed by James Stephen, followed by Craig, then followed by Dan, followed by Usmail, and then of course Jerry Smiles, and then Mark Palmer. Then it'll be Ben Smith, Marky Mark, Love Frequency, Ginger Baxter, and Alexandru, and Stealth Racer, and of course Max Robertson, with 52 seconds remaining of the qualifying session in round number 5 of the Decals Lab Porcshe Cayman, as Max Robertson has done a 1:39.663. So that's still going to push him at the back at the moment, which is a bit unfortunate for Max. Max needs to start getting some good results within his ambition, but you know, fair play to him. Dan Bailey's sitting out the remainder of the session. I don't know whether he's having issues or not, but he's sat out the remainder of the session with 15 seconds to go. So potentially, if you are going to cross the line now, if the time runs out, that will be your qualifying done. But Gareth may have another chance, as Jerry Smiles done a 1:36.802, so that pushes him up into 3rd place, and qualifying now has finished. So I believe James Stephen going through Red Bull Mobile got a bit crossed up. He's behind Love Frequency to get a tow. Love Frequency's got a 1/10 penalty, or 1 second penalty. So Jerry Smiles is probably going to be the only guy at the moment. Marky Mark's done 1:38.091. I believe believe at the moment Jerry Smalls is going to be the only one out on track because everyone else has finished their laps. Dan Bailey's still in pit lane, but we shall see what goes on. Jerry is going to be the only racer that crossed the line before the time ran out. Yes, because he was actually leading. Jerry's got a penalty, which is going to hamper him. I don't think it'll hamper him too much though, but you know, it's not going to count, so what we shall see. At the moment Jerry is in third, so he's third fastest at the moment. So it goes Gareth, James, Jerry, Craig, Dan, Ismail, Mark Palmer, Mark McCabe, Ben Smith, Love Frequency aka Love Mecca, Ginger Baxter aka Jay Baxter, Kojai, Stealth Racer and Max Robertson bringing up the rear. So it's going to be spectacular to see what happens. Jerry goes through Red Bull Mobile now. Is he going to improve on his lap time? No, he doesn't. But qualifying is now finished, so we're going to have to wait for the timer to run out because Dan Bailey is still sat in the pit lane, which is a bit unfortunate for Dan. I don't know whether he's sitting out because he got held up in traffic or there was an issue, but it is going to be fantastic. Dan is actually 5th fastest at the moment, so we'll let the timer run down for a minute. But it is going to be potentially a decent lineup for race number 1 of the evening. It shall be spectacular. But it is Gareth from James, so the championship protagonist and the championship rivals. So Gareth and James are together on the first row of the grid. Then you'll have Jerry and Craig, so a Northern Irishman versus a Welshman on row number 2. Then you have Dan Bailey and of course Ismail, and then the two Marks together. And then you will have Ben Smith and of course Love Mecca, so on 9th and 10th. Then you have Ginger Baxter and Alexandru on 11th and 12th. Then you have Stealth Racer and of course Max Robertson on the last row of the grid. So we'll see what happens in the first race of the evening. Potentially it should be spectacular as qualifying now is ended. And yeah, so there's quite a few people with penalties, so just remember guys, take your penalties between turns 1 and 2 please, gents. And we'll get ready for round number, I can't remember what round we're at now. I think it's 13, 14 and 15. So we'll see what happens with Gareth and James and Jerry and Craig, and then Dan Bailey and Ismail, the two Marks, and then Ben Smith. We get the green flag from the back of the grid to say everyone is here from the warm-up lap, and the red lights are about to be shown, which will turn to green or go out any moment now as they do. And who's going to get a good start going into Niki Lauda? This is going to be close. This evening we've got James, Stephen and of course Gareth Morris, as Craig makes a good start into 3rd place, which Joey Smalls drops down to 4th. Dan Bailey already into up and running into this battle, and Gilmares and Mark Palmer, 2 Marks together, Ben Smith and Ginger Baxter, as I believe Mecca is also behind them. And we've got Stealth Racer and Kojai and Max Robertson towards the back of the field, but we'll go up to this battle at the front at the moment between Gareth Morris and of course James Stephen, the championship rivals, the championship protagonist. Who's going to get, as James gets to move down into Slosh Gold, and he's banging door to door with Gareth Morris at the moment. This James is going to eke out a gap, but who's going to get the lead? But look at this is neck and neck, this is fighting stuff. James Stephen gets ahead of Gareth there just before the braking zone, but you see this is spectacular, and we're going to probably potentially see what goes on further back at the moment. But you got Marky Mark and you got Ginger Baxter and Mark Palmer battling as well, so the two Marks and Ginger Baxter, and then you got Ismail and Ben Smith potentially battling as well. But there's going to be quite a lot. Max Robertson has a 4/10 penalty, and who I believe Love Frequency is at the back, which is a bit unfortunate for Love Mecca. But at the moment Max Robertson needs to realise he needs to take his penalty further around the lap this time. He's actually got rid of it in the wrong place. That is going to go against him, unfortunately. as James Stephen and of course Gareth Morris, the championship protagonists, are first and second at the moment, followed by Craig, followed by Jerry Smalls and Dan Bailey, and then of course Marky Mark up into 6th place, which is a good show for Mark, as Dan Bailey's got a bit of a penalty. He's actually got it, don't know whether he got it dead on before going into Remus there, but yeah, we'll see what happens within the results after that, as Game Race tries to make the move going into Remus on the Ginger Baxter, which he does, but then he's also got Ben Smith aka Bassox behind him, so we'll see what happens between these guys. There's Ismail and of course Ben Smith trying to make the move for 9th and 10th at the moment, but Game Race tries to overtake going in Schloss Gold, but we shall see what happens. He gets into 9th, Ben Smith binned it, I don't know what happened. We'll try and pick it up on the replay if we can, just for a few moments. We'll go just try and see what happened. We'll try and quickly picture it. I think he does get a bit of gravel on his tyres, which spins him out, which drops him down into 14th place at the moment. But at the moment, James Stephen pushing on, going into Red Bull Mobile now, and he's potentially going to be on course for another victory, as we've got Gareth Morris, his title nemesis. Don't worry about the red light, guys, it is just showing just for some bizarre reason. But then you've got Craig and of course Jerry Smalls in 3rd and 4th, then you've got Dan Bailey followed by Marky Mark, and then you've got Mark Palmer and the Ginger Baxter and Ismail battling for 7th, 8th and 9th. I believe Mark Palmer, he wants to pick up more points, but the Ginger Baxter and Cameras, but they're going to make it 3 wide into Remus if they're not very careful. 3 wide. This is going to be spectacular. Who's going to break? Who's going to be the earliest? Let's see what happens. Mark Palmer on the inside, Ismail in the middle, Ginger Baxter runs a bit wide going out of Remus there, but it is the Ginger Baxter into 7th place. Marky Mark has lost out into 9th place, and then Kojoy and then the frequency. Ben Smith back up into 12th place ahead of Max Robertson and of course Stealth Racer. Stealth Racer has a 5/10th penalty. He will have to take that next time round. It is going to go probably against him if he's not careful, as we've got the championship protagonist James Stephen, of course Gareth Morris still out in 1st and 2nd. Then you got the real Osmond and Jerry Smalls. Bit of reversal from qualifying there, but at the moment Craig is chasing after his countryman and of course James Stephen, and then you got Dan Bailey and of course Marky Mark. Ginger Baxter and of course Ismail battling for 7th, 8th, and of course Mark Palmer is also there, so 7th, 8th and 9th are having a bit of a battle at the moment. Then Alexandru and the frequency, then you got Ben Smith and Max Robertson, of course Chris Craigie at the back of the field, but going back on, we're already on lap number 4 out of 9, so we've got 5 laps to go, and James Stephen at the moment with the fastest lap at the moment with 1:36.283. So that's going to be fantastic stuff from these guys. We shall see what's going on within the lap or so. And then you've got the real Osman, aka Craig Thomas, chasing these guys down. Then you've got Jerry Smalls, and then Dan Bailey and Marky Mark. And then Ismail and Mark Palmer got past Ginger Baxter there. So there's still this battle between 7th, 8th and 9th. But it will be 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th if then got Kojo and Ben Smith, then got the frequency and Max Robertson and of course Stealth Racer. But going back to the battle, going back to the lead at the moment, James Stephen is trying to eke out a gap from Gareth at the moment, but this is going to be potentially the top 2 in the championship. Yet again battling for 1st and 2nd out on track as well. We shall see. Craig is trying to catch these guys as well, but so is Jerry Smalls. Dan Bailey's also there. Marky Mark. But then you got Marky Mark and of course Ismail, but you've got Ginger Baxter and Mark Palmer battling out for 8th and 9th. Ginger Baxter, Jay Baxter's flashing lights. I don't know whether he's doing it on purpose or what. But is it a deterrent? No, it isn't. But Mark Palmer tries to make the move, going out of Red Bull Mobile to get onto the back of Jay Baxter, going into potentially Nicky Lauda. At the moment, we'll see what goes on at the moment. But Mark Palmer makes the move into Nicky Lauda, but Jay Baxter closes the door, runs very wide, which I'm quite surprised he's not picked up a penalty for that, because that was a bit of a, well, he has now, yes, he's had to take that, and Mark Palmer's done exactly the same. These guys are seriously got to be careful with the penalties, as there's been a bit of a battle and a bit of a change between Ismail and Marky Mark up the road going into Remus, and we're now heading down to Schlossgold for the 5th time. But we'll see what goes on. Jerry is still in 4th place, as well as Craig's in 3rd. Then you've got Moz and James. These two are going to be battling. Moz is gaining on James as we speak, but we'll see what's going on. We'll look at the back of the field. Stealth Racers at the back at the moment. Then you've got Max Robertson, then you've got Low Frequency, then you've got Alexandria and Ben Smith having a bit of a battle, and then Mark Palmer's dropped back from the Ginger Baxter. I don't know whether that's hamped because of the penalty, but we'll see. But at the moment, James Stephen is now under threat from Gareth Morris going into Red Bull Mobile. These two are the top, like I say, the top 2 in the championship and the top 2 on the track as well. This is going to be fantastic stuff from these guys. We shall see, but who's going to get into 1st place going into turn number 1? As Gareth Morris tries to make the move, James Stephen thinks, oh no mate, come on, I don't want you overtaking me, I want bigger championship lead. But we shall see with 3 laps to go. At the moment, 3 laps to go in this race, but this is going to be fantastic stuff. Absolute fantastic circuit is the Red Bull Ring. I'll tell you this, James Stephen is trying to put, but you've got Craig Thomas there, the real Osman, in 3rd place at the moment. But then you've got Jerry Smiles chasing down these guys. Then you've got Dan Bailey, then you've got Game Race, aka Ismail, Marky Mark in 7th place, Ginger Baxter in 8th, Mark Palmer and Ben Smith for 9th and 10th. Ben tries to make the move going into Remus. Mark Palmer closes the door, but Ben Smith will bite back and try and pass him. But then you've got Kodra in Low Frequency. Low Frequency gets crossed up going out of Remus, which is going to bring Max Robertson into play. And then you've got Chris Craigie in 14th at the moment. But look at this, James Stephen and Gareth Morris, these two are at it again. This is absolutely unbelievable. I cannot believe what I am seeing. I thought, you know, this evening these two would potentially struggle, but you know, this is fantastic stuff from the 2 of them. James Stephen still has that bit of a gap, it's coming down, but Gareth Morris is going to probably push James Stephen all the way. But we shall see, as Craig and obviously Jerry. But we've got this battle for 6th and 7th between Ismail and of course Marky Mark. But we shall see what goes on. Oh, I can't believe what I'm seeing here. But Ginger Baxter's also going to be invited to this party. He's going to be invited to potentially if these two make a mistake. But you should see Mark Palmer and of course Ben Smith. Mark's now got another 5/10 penalty. He's going to have to take that, but that's cost him time because Ben Smith has got past him. I can't believe what I am seeing. But Mark Palmer gets crossed up going out with Nicky Lauda. But this is going to be fantastic. Kodra is going to be involved. Max Robertson in 12th, Stealth Racer and Low Frequency are battling for 13th and 14th. But at the moment, as we're joined back to this battle between Gareth Morris and of course James Stephen, the top 2 in the championship, the top 2 in the race with 2 laps to go. Oh my goodness, are we going to see another upset? Oh, but are we going to see fair racing between these two? These two do race clean and they do race fair, don't get me wrong, but I thought these two were going to be, oh my days. As James Stephen, he is the Scotsman, the King James or Dangerman James. You know, James isn't dangerous at all on track, but he's a danger. He's a danger to people that are around him because he wants to win this championship. You know, he was in the Ferraris midweek, but you know, he's now back into his usual Porcshe Cayman as both of them wiggled the way out of Red Bull Mobile going on to the penultimate lap. We shall see what goes on in a bit, but we'll catch up to these guys. But at the moment, Marky Mark has got past Ismail. Dan Bailey still in 5th place at the moment. Marky Mark and Ginger Baxter, these two had history at the Nürburgring in round number 3 of the championship, but these guys since then have calmed down. But at the moment it is going to be potentially Ben Smith in 9th place. Mark Palmer still got another penalty. He's going to have to take that again. But you know, seriously, you know, Porcshe is in 11th, Max Robertson in 12th, Stealth Racer in 13th, and Love Frequency. I don't know what's happening to Love Frequency. He's having a bit of issues, but James Stephen, we'll go back to this battle between James Stephen and of course Gareth Morris. These two are still battling for 1st and 2nd. Even though it's 1st and 2nd in the championship, it's also 1st and 2nd on track going down into Worth Turn now as we speak. This is going to be, oh my days, but you know, this is going to be fantastic. We shall see what goes on. James Stephen there, James Stephen. Come on, James, just keep it together. Don't look in your mirror, mate, because he's going to pounce. Oh, I can't believe what I'm seeing. The top 2 in the championship yet again. This is fantastic. I cannot wait to see what the outcome is as we go on to the final lap, going out of Red Bull Mobile now. James Stephen, oh my days. Moz is going to try and get him into Niki Lauda. What's going to happen? Is Moz going to get the move done? He's going to... Oh my days, James Stephen shuts the door at the last minute. Wow. But this is fantastic stuff. I cannot believe these two from absolute nowhere. But I believe further back there's a bit of a battle between, I believe, Jerry Smiles and Craig. There's a bit of a gap there. But we'll go back to this battle between Gareth and James at the moment. This is fantastic. I cannot believe what I am seeing here. But we'll go through the positions in reverse at the moment. Love Frequency, if he stays there, will be on pole position for race 2. Stealth Racer will be alongside him, and then Max Robertson, Porcshe, Mark Palmer, Ben Smith, Ginger Baxter, Marky Mark, Game Race, and Dan Bailey, then Jerry Smiles and Craig. But then it will be these two, James and Gareth. Gareth will be in 13th for race 2 on the grid, but he's 2nd at the moment in the trying to put pressure under James as we go through the final couple of turns. James runs a bit wide going out of there. Is that going to allow Gareth to gain? But this is going to be spectacular. James Stephen, that's right, James Stephen, championship leader. Oh my goodness gracious, what have we got? Who's going to get across the line? Gareth thinks about it. James Stephen holds him off. Well, Gareth is there for a tow, but James Stephen crosses the line for 1st place. Congratulations. Gareth comes home in 2nd. Craig comes home in 3rd. Jerry Smiles takes 4th. Dan Bailey comes home in 5th. That's enough good showing for Dan. Ismail in 6th. And then Germerus, Marky Mark. Jay Baxter should be taking his penalty elsewhere. He should be taking it round the lap, but unfortunately it will not go against him. Ben Smith comes home in 9th. Mark Palmer in 10th. And then Alexandru, the Romanian, will come home in 11th. Max Robertson will come home in 12th place. And then Stealth Racer in 13th. And then Love Frequency rounding up the rear of the field and coming home in 14th. But this has been spectacular stuff. But we'll find out what goes on in round number 14 of the Decals Lab Porsche Caymans later on. But that was fantastic. Yeah, Stealth Racer's got his penalty. He did not serve his penalty. That is a bit unfortunate. So, we shall see what goes on here. I'm just going to quickly get the race results and potentially get so we'll get the results of round number 1 well, not round number 1, race 1 of the Porcshe Caymans here at the Red Bull Ring. I'll just get that quickly and I'll get the replay as well. But my goodness gracious, that was fantastic. I'll go through potentially, I believe, just bear with 1 second guys. I can do, Ben, if you're watching the stream, mate. Yes, of course, I'll mention that you're not going to be here next week. So if you are watching the stream, guys, Ben Smith will not be here next week. He's having his floor done. He's just asked me to... He's just asked me to mention it. So, race 1's results was James Stephen, followed by Gareth Morris, followed by the real Osman, and then Jerry Smiles and Dan Bailey, and then Ismail, Marky Mark and Ginger Baxter, and then Ben Smith and Mark Palmer, and then Kojoy, and then Max Robertson, Stealth Racer. Stealth Racer did pick up a 1 second penalty, which has gone against his time. Low Frequency, fortunately at the back of the field, and then James Stephen on lap number 2 actually did the fastest lap of the race with 1:36.283. So race 2. So race 2 will begin in 3 minutes time. We do have a message on the stream, so bear with guys. We are looking, going to be looking at what the message is. Chris Richardson, that was great, some battle. Well done, James. Indeed, mate. So in 3 minutes time, we will be potentially ready for race 2. So we've got the replays, we've got everything. So we'll see if Stealth Racer wants to go into the lobby, and then we'll see what goes on. For race 2 of the Decals Lab Porcshe Caymans here at the Red Bull Ring, and we have got at least a couple of minutes. We'll give Stealth a couple of minutes as he's just entered the lobby now. So let's see if they're ready. So it will potentially be a full grid reversal as Gamer aka Ismail's gone. Let's have a clean race. So race 2 will start any moment now. Well, we'll start in about a minute's time. So we shall see what goes on. This is going to be fantastic to see. We are getting ready now and gearing up, ready for the second race of the evening here at the Red Bull Ring. And just remember guys, if you are watching the stream, please take your penalties between turns 1 and 2 before you get to the penalty line, otherwise it will go against you. Do not take it on the last corner because it will go against you. This is the full grid reversal for race 2. Low Frequency, then Stealth Racer, then Max Robertson, then Kojoy, Mark Palmer, then Ben Smith, then Ginger Baxter, and of course the rest of the field. It's going to be spectacular. James Stephen from the back, he's actually halfway around the last bit of the lap, should I say. And I couldn't get my words out, but Low Frequency is coming up to take the rolling start. Is he going to floor it, or is we going to, as we get 3, 2, 1 and go? And we get the lights go out now, and it will be essentially Stealth Racer and Low Frequency that lead us away, followed by Max Robertson. I'm going to make sure everyone gets through these turns fantastically as Mark Palmer tries to make a move on Kodre, and Ginger Baxter, and of course Ben Smith. Speaking of Ben Smith, he's just asked to say he won't be here next week because he's having his floor done. Oh, what a shame you will not be going visiting stateside. What's happening further back? Ginger Baxter, and of course Marky Mark, and of course Kodre. No, Ismail, sorry. And Dan Bailey and Jerry Smiles are having a bit of a battle. Real Osman and Gareth, and of course James Stephen from the back of the field. But we'll see what goes on between these guys as Low Frequency goes into Schloss Gold in the lead at the moment. So this could be fantastic for Love Mecca if he keeps it together. He might be the second person, as Kodre and Matt Palmer have a bit of a wiggle going out of Schloss Gold. But Kodre is up into third place. Max Robertson's also trying to follow him. Mark Palmer's also there with Gamer 8 aka Ishmael. And then you got Ben Smith. Oh, it's a bit tight squeal. Stealth Racer from second place loses it, but he gets back on track, but he's ahead of Kodre. But Kodre's going to think of getting past. Mark Palmer's also going to be there. Max Robertson's banging doors with Ismail at the moment as we go through the penultimate turn, but we'll see as Kodre and Mark Palmer, which is allowing Love Mecca to get away. Mark Palmer and Alexandru battling for second and third at the moment. Stealth Racers there. And for Max Robertson in potentially. Oh, look at this! Look at this! There's a gaggle of cars for positions. This is going to be quite interesting. Who's going to be the last to break? James Stephen's in that. James Stephen comes from the middle of nowhere, but I don't know whether that was a dive bomb. I don't know, or a torpedo. But they're all gagging up here. Let's see from James Stephen's point of view, just for a moment or two. He just locks up, but cuts across Marky Mark and Ben Smith and the rest of them there. But that's pushed James into 8th place. But this, oh my goodness gracious, look at this. It's brought people up. Love Mecca's getting away from this battle. So he's Alexandria. But look at all this. There's cars galore. I cannot wait to show you the designs of the new Caymans next season. Stealth Racer runs a bit wide going out with Schloss Gold, but he's dropped down into 6th place at the moment. Max Robertson's in 5th place. James Stephen already up into 7th, but Dan Bailey's also there. Jerry Smiles get a tap from Dan, but he comes back, he takes Ben and Dan goes off as well. What happened there with the concertina in? I believe Jerry Smiles got a bit crossed up. Yeah, he got a tap from Dan and then Jerry cuts it back. I don't think it was intentional. But that has cost Dan, Ben and Jerry a bit of time. But Love Mecca's out in the lead at the moment. Kodre and Mark Palmer are still battling for second and third as we go up towards Nicky Lauda and Game Race. I believe Stealth Racer's got a penalty. Yes, he has. Stealth's got a bit of a penalty. He's going to have to take that. I don't understand why he's taking it here. It is wrong. You need to take it further up the line, mate. You need to take it up. It is going to go against you. Ginger Baxter needs to take his penalty. He needs to get off the line. But you know, Ginger Baxter's taking his penalty. Max Robertson's in 11th. These guys that are taking penalties, if you're watching the stream, guys, please do take your penalties between turns 1 and 2 before you get to the penalty line. Before you get to turn number 2, Dan Bailey in 12th place at the moment, Ben Smith in 13th, Jerry Smiles in 14th. Low Frequency still out in the lead. Mark Palmer is in 2nd place. Kodre, of course, Alexandria battling for 3rd and 4th. James Stevens up into 5th. Mark Palmer's got a bit of a penalty now. He's going to have to get rid of that later on. But Alexandra in 4th place at the moment, James Stephen in 5th place, Gareth up into 2nd, and Ginger Baxter and Mark Palmer have had a bit, Mark McCabe have had a bit of an issue. I don't know what happened. I'll see if we can go back to what happened between them two. If we can. No, we can't. It's a bit further back now. But at the moment, Ben Smith up into 13th, Jerry Smiles in 14th. But low frequency at the moment. I don't know what's happening here, but Mark Palmer, even though he's got his penalty, he's going to have to serve that, and it's very soon. He's going to have to serve that. He does that now, as Mark Palmer takes his penalty. But Ishmael gets into 2nd, James Stephen flies by as well. But James Stephen's going to have a bit of a battle on his hand as he tries to make a move going into Remus. He's got Moz behind him, so he's got the title nemesis as well. Mark Palmer's going to try and put a car between him and James Stephen, but Gamer Race is also there. Gamer Race is actually between James and, of course, Gareth, so there's going to be a bit of a battle. We should see what happens. Mark Palmer tries to get past Gareth as he does, going into Slush Gold. But this is going to be fantastic between these guys. James Stephen now we'll have to try and push on to Low Frequency, but Low Frequency's actually got a good lead. He's got like near enough a 10-second lead ahead of James Stephen. And then Gamer Race, aka Ishmael, but Moz is coming back to Mark Palmer at the moment. These two are battling. Mark Palmer is going to run a bit wide, but still gets into 4th place, and Moz drops back into 5th place. But then Ishmael and of course Craig are battling for 7th and 6th at the moment, but we'll see what goes on. Stealth Racer in 8th place, Ginger Baxter in 9th, and then we've got Max Robertson trying to hold off Marky Mark, and of course Ben Smith and Dan Bailey. So 9th, 10th and 11th and 13th at the moment are battling as Max Robertson. I believe Ben Smith has got a bit of a twitchy, but we'll see what goes on. Marky Mark, should I say, Jerry Smiles got a 5/10 penalty. Marky Mark is coming into turn number 1, but Max closes the door. Ben Smith and Marky Mark and Dan Bailey are also there. Dan Bailey's also trying to get past Ben Smith at the moment, but we shall see what goes on. We'll try and go further up the road if we can. James Stephen is trying to catch Low Frequency, but Low Frequency is already through Slush Gold. So James Stephen's going to probably have to settle for 2nd. Ishmael and Mark Palmer and of course Gareth Morris are still battling for 3rd, 4th and 5th at the moment, and Craig's also there. Kojo's in 7th, and then you've got Stealth Racer and of course Ginger Baxter chasing for 8th and 9th at the moment. Well, Mark McCabe versus Ben Smith versus Max Robertson and versus Dan Bailey. Unfortunately Jerry Smiles is a bit further back, but Dan Bailey's trying to make a move on Max Robertson as he does. Squeaker tyres there between Ben Smith and Marky Mark at the moment, but we shall see what happens between this battle. Marky Mark's holding off Ben Smith at the moment, excuse me, but we'll see what goes on as Marky Mark still tries to defend from Ben Smith. Ben Smith tries to make a move on the outside, but it goes into the inside for Red Bull Mobile as he makes the move. Fantastic move there by Ben. Dan Bailey's also bringing up, but Jerry Smiles is now latching onto this group. He's got Max Robertson behind him. Stealth Racer and Ginger Baxter are still battling, but you've got this battle between Gareth and of course Mark Palmer still battling for 4th and 5th, potentially 3rd, 4th and 5th, because Ishmael is dropping back into the clutches of Mark Palmer and of course Gareth Morris at the moment, and Craig's also lurking in the background. But Mark Palmer is trying to make the move, or Gareth Morris is trying to make the move on Mark Palmer, but Mark's trying to defend at the moment. But Mark goes a bit wide out into Slush Gold, and Moz gets past into 4th place. James Stephen is trying to get up to Low Frequency, but at the moment, as you can see, Low Frequency is further up the road, but there's a bit of tyre squeal and Ismail and Gareth, and of course Matt Palmer. But Moz has made the move for 4th place at the moment, but Ismail's there. But these two are going to battle as well. We'll see what's going on with their battle very shortly. But at the moment, Ben Smith and Dan Bailey, and then Marky Mark. Jerry Smiles is in 13th. Max Robertson now unfortunately has dropped to 14th. Love Frequency with 2 laps to go, with James Stephen in 2nd place. James Stephen gets the fastest lap of the race with 1:36.780. Mark Palmer and of course Ismail are battling, so Gareth is now in 3rd place. Ismail and of course Mark Palmer are battling for 4th and 5th, but then Craig's also in this battle. Craig is trying to make his way up into 5th place at the moment. We shall see what goes on here. This is fantastic stuff from the lot of them. But Kodre's got a penalty. Is he going to take it? He actually needs to take it. He actually needs to take his penalty. See, no. It's in the wrong place, mate. You've crossed the line, so he's going to double your time. And Ginger Baxter's there in 8th place, followed by Stealth Racer, followed by Ben Smith and Dan Bailey, and then Marky Mark and Jerry Smalls, and then Max Robertson. At the moment, Love Frequency, aka Love Mecca, aka Aaron Clark. Jesus, how many names has he got? But in 1st place at the moment, then you've got James Stephen, and then of course Gareth Morris. So 1st and 2nd in the championship at the moment are battling for 2nd and 3rd in the race, because Love Frequency goes through Red Bull Mobile onto the penultimate lap. Then you've got Mark Palmer, then you've got Craig, and of course Ismail battling for 4th, 5th and 6th. Then you've got Kodre and Ginger Baxter, followed by Stealth Racer, followed by Ben Smith, and of course Dan Bailey and Marky Mark. And then you got Jerry Smalls, aka Jerry Dobbin, in 13th, 12th and 13th. So you got a battle for 10th and 11th, and then you got a battle for 12th and 13th, and then you got a battle for 4th, 5th and 6th. So we'll see what goes on here. This is going to be fantastic stuff. James Stephen is slowly but surely catching up to Love Mecca, but Love Mecca's going through Slush Gold. Any moment James Stephen he's thinking, oh, am I going to make it a double? But, this is going to be so hard. Gareth is in 3rd place at the moment, but as you can see, just on that shot there, Love Frequency gone through Slush Gold as the guys get through there straight away. But then you've got Ismail and Craig for 5th and 6th at the moment. This is going to be fantastic stuff. Towards the end of the race, we're on the penultimate lap of the race already. Then you've got Kodre and Ginger Baxter battling for 7th and 8th. This is going to be fantastic. This could be a bit of a battle as well. This could end potentially. It won't end in tears, but it could potentially end up being a battle of the century. But you never know. Ginger Baxter and Kodre are still battling for 7th and 8th at the moment. Then you've got this battle between Ben Smith and of course Stealth Racer, but we shall see, as Stealth Racer gives Ben a bit of a tap. But then you've got Ben's overtook him for 9th place at the moment. Then you've got Jerry Smalls and Marky Mark, and of course Dan Bailey. So 12th, 11th, 12th and 13th are battling it out. Max Robertson at the back of the field as Love Frequency, okay, Love Mecca, is onto the final lap as he goes through Remus now. James Stevens a bit far back. James isn't going to catch him now unless Love Mecca makes a mistake. We don't want to put the commentator's curse, but then you got Gareth Morris, and then you got Game Racing, aka Ismail, and of course Craig up in 5th and 6th. These two are battling still. You got Ginger Baxter finally got past Kodre, and then Ben Smith, and of course Stealth Racer for 9th and 10th. And you've got Marky Mark got past Jerry Smalls there, but Jerry and Marky Mark, bit of a tap into Remus, but going out of Remus, but Dan Bailey's also there, and Max Robertson at the back of the field. We'll try and concentrate on some of the battles if we can, but it is so hard because there's so many battles galore. Craig's finally got past Ismail, and Ginger Baxter still holding off Kojai, and Stealth Racer in 10th, Jerry Smiles in 11th. But what about this? What about this, guys? Love Frequency from potentially pole position comes home. He's the second person compared to Craig to take a victory in the Porcshe Cayman, so he will be happy with that. James Stephen will come home in second, Gareth Morris in third, then you got Mark Palmer and Craig coming home in fourth and fifth, then you got Ismail in sixth, then you got Jay Baxter coming in seventh place, then you got Alexandru in eighth, you got Ben Smith and of course Chris Craigie in ninth and 10th, then you got Jerry Smiles, aka Jerry Dobbin in 11th, Marky Mark in 12th place, and then Please Don't Showboat Guys, because it does go to Don Bailey in 13th, and then Max Robertson in 14th. Boy, I don't know what was going on, but look at the amount of guys with penalties. This is a bit. This needs to seriously be a bit of a. Needs to be sorted between races, guys. We do need. If you are watching the stream, please do take your penalties between turns 1 and 2. It is not going to be ideally good enough. Well, it needs to be. As I say, I will go through results of that race if I can, and I'll just take the screenshot of the results just for a moment, potentially, so I can get race 2's results, and then we'll go through the results very quickly. In first place was none other than Love Frequency, and then James Stephen. In second place, Gareth Morris in third, then you've got Mark Palmer in fourth, the real Osman aka Craig in fifth place, Gamer Race in sixth, Ginger Baxter in seventh, Kojai in eighth, then you got Ben Smith in ninth, then you got Stealth Racer in 10th, then you got Jerry Smiles in 11th, Marky Mark in 12th, then Dan Bailey 13th, and Max Robertson rounding up the field in 14th place. Fastest lap actually went to Gareth Morris on lap number 7 with a 1:36.310, and we'll see what happens. But you know, it was a bit hectic in race number 2. So race number 3 now will be grid compared to previous results, but we shall see. But this is going to be fantastic. I am looking forward to seeing what potentially. I'm a beginner, yeah. But this is going to be really funny. If you're watching the stream, guys, just remember, just be careful what you do put in the chat, guys. But this is going to be fantastic, and potentially see what happens within the second race. We will be going in 2 minutes time, guys, so I'm going to put that in the chat. So if you're not going to be in the lobby, guys, please do enter. We are going to be spectacularly going to be racing. I can't wait to see what happens. But it's going to be Ginger Baxter and Jerry Smiles wreck first. Dude, I don't think he meant it, to be fair. So basically, Ben's saying, if you're watching the stream, guys, why he's not here, he's getting reclaimed pine boards taking ages to source, laughing out loud. We are having it put down from Monday and getting it sanded. Happy if you want to share it on the stream. Dude, I'm gutted you're missing next week. So, yeah. Come on, guys, if you're gonna argue, take it elsewhere, not in here. take it elsewhere. Hoppers WF. Yes, germs. Can I get a shout out to my budgie, please? Yes, shout out to Germ Stevens budgie. Woo! Sorry, that was just literally a bit. But yeah, shout out to your budgie pal. You know, yes, you can get a shout out. Yes, of course. But if you're ready, guys, we'll be going in 1 moment time. As I say, but yeah, I do apologise. That was really not the best shout out at all. But if we are ready, guys, we will be going in around 1 moment. Tweet. I love it. I love it. So if you like what you see here, guys, please do like, comment and subscribe. And if you are watching the stream, guys, please just beware what you put in the chat box. We are streamed and I don't want it looking bad on this, please. So Jay Baxter, if you're going to get ready, mate, please do enter the lobby, because we are about to go. I don't know what he's typing, but I'm not waiting. Because I'm gonna go with whether you like it or not, mate. So we'll see what happens, because we are about to go in a moment or two. I don't know what he's typing, so I'm a bit concerned at the moment. I don't know what he's typing. So we'll go once Ginger Baxter's in the lobby for the final race of the evening. But it's been 2 minutes, so I don't know what he's typing. I do apologise for the delay, guys. I'm just waiting to see what Ginger Baxter's putting in the lobby chat. Okay. Just bear with me 1 second, guys. I'm going in a minute. Drop me a Jay, if you're watching the stream, mate, drop me a message on Messenger. Right, I'm good to go. So if we're ready, guys, please let me know, because I want to start this race. Right, let's go. Well, if he's not ready, guys, we're going to go without him, I'm afraid. Right guys, so Porcshe Baxter, we are going to go. I do apologise for the slight delay. I'm trying to find out what's been going on, but I can't really afford to mess around any longer. So we do have Low Frequency, followed by James, followed by Gareth, followed by Mark, followed by The Real Osman, followed by GR3, followed by Porcshe, and Ben Smith. So we shall see what goes on in the third and final race of the evening here at the Red Bull Ring. The revs are building and so are mine, and we are about to get ready now. Who's going to make a good start? Low Frequency bogs down at the start there, and James Stephen gets into first place. James Stephen is battling away at the moment. We shall see what goes on further back, but Gareth Morris Jay, I need to know what's going on, mate, so, you know. But, you know, Gareth is in second place, followed by Low Frequency, and GR3, and Mark Palmer. Is in 4th and 5th, Real Osman in 6th place, followed by Ben Smith and Jerry Smalls. Stealth Racer gets a bit crossed up, I believe, and Jerry Smalls in 13th. I don't know what's been going on, but over the last couple of moments, so, you know, I do apologise. As Mark Palmer and Ismail are battling for 4th and 5th again, as Craig is also there. But you've got James Stephen and of course Gareth Morris in the lead at the moment, followed by Low Frequency. Low Frequency bogged down at the start, but then you've got this battle between James Stephen and of course I don't know why you entering, mate, but you know, it's James Stephen and of course Gareth Morris are battling for 2nd and 3rd, but then you've got GR3 and Mark Palmer, and then you've got The Real Osman, aka Craig, battling first with Ismail and of course Ben Smith at Marky Mark in 6th, 7th and 8th. Then you've got Max Robertson and Alexandru battling. Come on guys, settle the aggression. I can't commentate if you're going to be like this, guys. If you're watching the stream, settle it down. But then you've got Dan Bailey and of course Stealth Racer battling for 11th and 12th. So I'm just going to keep an eye on this battle for a moment or two between Max Robertson and of course Alexandru, the Romanian. I don't know whether these two are having a bit of beef at the moment, but what the... Seriously? Just bear with, guys. And then you've got Dan Bailey in 11th place, and then you've got Stealth Racer and Jerry Smalls in 13th, 12th and 13th, and then you've got, at the moment, we're keeping on this battle between James Stephen and of course Gareth Morris. I do apologise, guys, you know, I'm not having silly driving, hence why I've just told them to settle down. And then you've got Love Mecca and Craig and Mark Palmer, and of course Ben Smith and Ismail And then you've got Porcshe escaping from Marky Mark, and of course Dan Bailey and Max Robertson, and then Jerry Smalls having a bit of a battle. So I do apologise guys, I nearly lost my temper there. So you know, I'm not having them you know, bashing into each other and giving each other penalties for silly driving. So you know, I'm not happy with that at all, as James Stephen comes under threat from Gareth Morris at the moment. These two, the championship protagonists, Gareth and James, are giving each other room. James runs a bit wide there, gets tapped wide, but Gareth gets in front of James going into the last corner there. What a move. James is now going to have to chase after him, but you've got Low Frequency and of course Ben Smith up into 4th, which is good. Uzmel's in 5th, then you've got Craig in 6th, then you've got Mark Palmer, and of course Alexandru, the remaining under threat from Marky Mark at the moment. But you know, this is going to have to, as Mark tries to make the move, Alexandru closes the door, but you know, this is going to be a bit of a battle between these two. And then you've got Dan Bailey and Jerry Smalls, and then Stealth Racer has a penalty, so he's going to have to take that. But you know, he's seriously, I don't know what is going on at the moment. I don't know whether driving standards have gone out the window or what, but at the moment Max Robertson is in 13th. Stealth Racer takes his penalty a bit late there, but at the moment Dan Bailey's trying to chase after Marky Mark. James Stephen, while we were looking at the battles at the back of the field, has got back in front of Gareth there, and they've got Low Frequency and Ben Smith, and they've got Uzmel and Craig still battling, and then you've got Mark Palmer, and then Porcshe and Marky Mark, and then of course Dan Bailey, and then you've got and then Jerry and of course Stealth Racer and Max Robertson battling as well. But we'll go back to this battle between Gareth and of course James. James has got a bit of a penalty, so Gareth is going to be aware of that, so James is going to have to get rid of that before he goes into the second corner. But Moz makes the move into first place. Nicky Lauda, James is going to have to take that penalty. He's going to have to take it, but knowing James, you know, he's going to have to, seriously, he's took it, but you know, I thought he wasn't going to take it. But then we're on lap 5 out of 9 at the moment. Low Frequency and of course the Real Osman and Ben Smith battling for 5th and 4th at the moment. So these two are having a bit of a battle. Well, you've got Low Frequency in 3rd place at the moment, and you've got Mark Palmer and Game Race behind each other as well. So 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th are battling it out at the moment, but we shall see what's going on. Hopefully we've got no other issues, as Ismail and Mark Palmer have a bit of a battle. I believe Dan Bailey and Jerry Smalls are battling, and you've got Alexandru and Marky Mark, aka Mark McCabe, having a bit of a battle. Mark McCabe's got past Alexandru at the moment, but we shall see. Moz is still in 1st place at the moment, but Mark McCabe has got past Alexandru, and then you've got Stealth Racer and Max Robertson at the rear, and then you've obviously got Gareth on potentially battled for. Gareth is in 1st place, followed by James Stephen. There's a bit of a gap between these two now, so, and then you've got a gap between Craig and of course Low Frequency, then Ben Smith and Mark Palmer. So, and then Ismail has a bit of a penalty, so he's going to have to take that on the way round. But Mark Palmer tries to make a move on Ben Smith, but Ben Smith gets it a bit crossed, doesn't, and carries on. But Ismail has this penalty hanging over him, so they are going to have to potentially, Ismail is going to have to take his penalty, which he is doing, but I believe he's just crossed the penalty line there. Just Dan Bailey and Jerry Smalls are battling. I believe Marky Mark is going to catch these guys very soon, but then you've got Porcshe back into 11th, and then you've got Stealth Racer and Max Robertson battling. So we're on lap number 6 out of 9, so there's 3 more laps to go in this race, and it is going to be spectacular. Who's going to get the last win of the evening? James Stephen and Love Frequency, and then of course the Real Osman and Ben Smith, followed by Mark Palmer, followed by Ismail, and you got Dan Bailey and Jerry Smalls and Marky Mark, and of course Cordray and then Stealth Racer. I don't know what Cordray is trying to do, but you've got Stealth Racer and of course Max Robertson at the back of the field. As Gareth Morris starts lap number 7, he's got the fastest lap of the race so far with 1:36.637. We're going to see what's going on. James Stephen yet again has another penalty. James Stephen, you need to stop picking up penalties, mate, if you want to try and catch up to Gareth. But this is going to eat into your lead. This is going to eat. You know, you're going to have to catch up to him, mate. Put your foot down. Love Frequency in 3rd place, followed by Craig, followed by Ben Smith, followed by Mark Palmer, followed by Ismail, followed by Dan Bailey and Jerry Smalls, and Mark McCabe, and then Alexandru, and then Max Robertson, and then of course Stealth Racer bringing up the rear. This is going to be fantastic stuff between these guys. We shall see what goes on within the remaining laps, but at the moment Ben Smith and Mark Palmer are trying to chase after Craig at the moment, and then you've got obviously Gareth Morris now has a 3/10 of a gap 3/10 gap between himself and his title nemesis James Stephen. Then you have Love Frequency in 3rd, then you've got Craig, then you've got Ben, and then obviously Mark, then you've got Gamer, Ismail and Dan Bailey, followed by Jerry Smalls and then Marky Mark. But then you've got I believe Cordray and Max Robertson bringing up their field, and then obviously at the back is Stealth Racer, and we shall see what goes on within a bit of the races here. But you know, Moz is already eking out that gap from James Stephen, so James isn't going to get a double win this evening. I believe it will be a winner piece for the title contenders unless something happens. But you've got Love Frequency in 3rd place, so Love Mecca will be happy with his results. Then you've got Ben Smith and Mark Palmer, then you've got Gamerus and Jerry Smalls, and of course Dan Bailey battling out for 7th, 8th and 9th, and then you've got Marky Mark, and then you've got this battle between Cordray and of course Max Robertson. This is going to be brewing. I've got to keep an eye on these two because these two have had a bit of issues already in the race, so it is going to be potentially a bit of a battle. But you know, oh, what the bleeding nut. I can't commentate if you're going to knock each other off, guys. What is going on? I can't believe my eyes. That is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. I'm sorry, Max, but if you're watching the stream, mate, drop back, give him the place back. What was all that about? I know you've had issues in the race, but come on. I can't understand what is going on, guys. I'm sorry, but I'm ashamed. I don't know what's been going on over the last couple of minutes or bit of the stream. You know, we are on the stream. So James Stephen and of course Gareth Morris are still battling for 1st and 2nd, and then you've got Love Frequency in 3rd, then you've got Craig in 4th, Ben Smith in 5th place, then you've got Game Race versus Dan Bailey, and of course Jerry Smiles in 8th, then you've got Mark Palmer, then you've got Marky Mark, and of course Stealth Racer and Max Robertson have got penalties. These guys are going to have to get rid of penalties. I don't know what to say. You're getting rid of the penalties at the wrong time, guys. Come on, you should know better. You should know where the penalties are. And then you've got Alexandru at the back of the field, and I'm afraid I don't know what to recommend. I am absolutely gobsmacked. I can't commentate. I don't know what's going on. I'm really sorry guys, but I can't commentate on racing if you're going to drive into people and you're just going to expect to get away with that, because that, I'm absolute, I don't know what to say. But all I'm going to say is congratulations to Gareth Morris for taking another victory in the Decals Lab Porcshe Caymans. Comes through the last corner now and potentially takes a well-deserved victory ahead of James Stephen. But James Stephen has a penalty, but that's not gonna worry because he's crossing the line. It's on his final lap. And Love Mecca comes home in third place. Then of course Craig comes home in fourth. Then you got Ben Smith in fifth. Then you got Game Race and Cherry Smalls, and of course Dan Bailey, and then Mark Palmer, and then you got Marky Mark and Stealth Racer. I don't know what's gone on here. I'm going to try and pick it up if I can. But Max Robertson has lost it. I don't know whether he's trying to do that on purpose, but I'm not really happy with some of the driving I've seen. Stealth Racer comes home in 11th. Marky Mark was in 10th. Kodre comes home in 11th. Max Robertson unfortunately will come home in 13th. I'm really sorry guys, but I am not happy with the level of driving I've seen in this race. Max, please don't show off, mate. It's in the rules. Look at this. Penalties have not been taken. I'm gobsmacked. Absolutely fuming. I'm trying not to swear, guys, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It's an embarrassment. I'm actually embarrassed to commentate. I'll go through the results if I can, but I'm really embarrassed at the moment. If you're watching this stream guys, I am embarrassed. I do not know what has been going on, but I'm embarrassed. If you're watching this stream, I am embarrassed to see some of the driving standards has gone out the window in race 3. I don't get it. I really don't get it guys. I will go through the results, and before it all kicks off, you're welcome Gareth, anytime mate. I will go through the results. So in first place was Gareth Morris rather. Then it was James Stephen, followed by Love Frequency, then the Real Osman, then Ben Smith, and then Game Race, and Jerry Smiles, Dan Bailey, and Mark Palmer, then Marky Mark, Stealth Racer, Kodre and Max Robertson. Fastest lap went to Gareth on lap number 7 with 136.223, well 233, and I must say, yeah. So Chris, if you're watching the stream mate, I do apologise. Yeah, well done Gareth. James has put some Porcshe from some of them tonight. Indeed mate, I'm absolutely really gobsmacked. I don't know what to say. I'm going to find out what's going on, and I'll see you guys next week. And I believe everyone's left. I don't know what's going on. I feel like absolutely raging now. So until next week guys, at Laguna Seca, I've been Hoppers. Ta-ra.